Okay, turn 8. And now this was a tactical error. They are facing in the wrong direction. They have to move this turn to face. They have to assume that these guys are going to attack them, so they're going to have to turn. Otherwise, this group could have charged because they're already facing in the correct direction. So this group is going to have to stand by and wait. So they will not move. These guys are, again, they're going to attempt to turn. And they will continue, this group will turn and move up. This group will continue to move out. And the armored infantry is going to try to move into this gap here. This group will try to turn. The idea is that these groups will all try to fire. This group will move up. And this group will turn and then move in and try to attack. I don't think they have enough movement to do that. No, because they won't be on the road the whole time, so they will not be able to have 5 move left over. Well, so this says they have a road bonus. Oh, they don't get a road bonus. I've been doing that all wrong. Yeah, the foot troops don't get road bonus. So they shouldn't even be that far up, because they should still be back here somewhere. Oh well, no way to fix that. Learn for next time. So they're going to do half their move to turn, and then they will eventually set. Now these guys are all armed with pikes, so they will fight for 2 ranks. That's one of the reasons they wanted to get levied that way. So it's going to take them 4.5 to turn. Let's see, medium foot. They are well, it doesn't really say what medium foot is. No, there's no medium foot. Heavy foot. Yeah, they're 9. So take them 4.5 to turn. They're more than 5 away, so they're not going to be able to attack this turn. So they will simply move and set. Well, actually, that being the case, why don't they move? Well, let's say they use their forward move to get in this position, and then they're going to use the other half of their move to turn. That makes more sense. That makes up for the fact that I've been giving them too much movement. And so this group moving up and finally this last group, they can move 9. Oh no, they were going to sit still because they're so fatigued. They're going to sit still in order to, and they are also going to sit still to make their fatigue off. So go ahead and pull those off. They could potentially have to move again if these guys get to fire. Now let's do 7 or better to move. Yes. 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 Okay. So they turn. They can fire. Since they're on the hill, well, the hill will be sloping that way, so really that doesn't help them much. So they'll just get the 2 front ranks to try to fire. This group, 2 front ranks, try to fire. After they make their turn, this group will move 4.5, and they'll have to roll to see if they can even try to fire. See, this group, they move 6. They have accidentally fatigued themselves, but I wasn't paying attention, so we're going to let that stand. They are fatigued. So that leaves this group. They're facing in this direction. So if they do the gap is really over here, but they need to get in this direction. So we'll go ahead and move them their full move this way. They get here, they've got 1 inch left, and so we'll just pivot them that way, because this is half move as well, so it'll take them a while to get around the edge. All right, now we have all kinds of fun. All right, do they have a shot? Here's a good question. Let's see, up to 18, but they can only fire 2 ranks. So that's about 45 degrees. So I think yeah, they can get a shot. So they can get off 8 shots if they can shoot and if they will shoot. All right. So they have to beat their die to be able to shoot at them, since they use their full movement. All right. So their die is a 4. Their die is a 1. So they're not going to be able to shoot. All right. They need to roll a 12 to attack. No. They need to roll a 12 to attack. No. They can't attack. None of them can attack. They're sitting still. So that's it. They're going to lose their fatigue marker and their consecutive movement marker. So now they're back to full strength, and that's bad news for this group. And that's the end of the turn. Turn 9. Rest, move. They're going to have to charge, even though that's going to make them fatigued. Move up. Try to fire, rest, move. And they're going to charge. So first, let's see, can they fire on this unit as they move? Pass through fire. These 2 groups, 12 or better, or 12. 12, nope, nope. All right, so no firing there. Can they move? 7. Well, they don't. Yeah, they don't want to move. Well, they might want to move to where they can reform. So they can move. Well, they were just going to fire. So no. So can they move? That's who I was going to move. All right. Yeah, they can move. All right. So now we move. We'll move that marker there because theirs are going to fall off because they're not going to have to move. Theirs are going to fall off because they're charging them. And we'll hold off on this because we got to see what this group is going to do. All right, so charge and charge. We want to say they meet about here. So this group moved 3 inches. Let's mark where they're starting, because they may get a chance to continue. I don't think they are going to, but you know what? I guess we better mark it in case. Well, we'll use their charge markers. Actually, they need a fatigue marker now because this is their 5th consecutive move. And that group should have rested as well, but that's another mistake. All right, so can I do it without beating them up? There we go. Boom. All right, so we have to see if they react to the charge. They need to roll a 4 or better to continue to charge. They do. They need to roll 9 or better to continue to charge. They don't. So the failure for being charged is retreating 1.5 moves back to the enemy. So that's basically a rout. They will get All right, so they're 9. This counts as rough terrain for them. So 4, and then they would get additional 2.5. So 1, 2.5. So that's going to blunder them, part of them, into them, which in turn routes them. And that routes them. I didn't move this group, so they were going to move up as much as they could, and they do move to here, which fatigues them. And I'm going to go ahead and use this fatigue marker because, well, let's see, 1.5 moves. Better hold on to that because I think they are going to be able to stay on the board. So they're going to route 9 inches to here. So they're going to be fatigued because they were trying to rest, but they couldn't. So they're going to get a fatigue marker as well. So they blundered into them, they blundered into them. I'm just moving them in the reverse order because that's easier. Route upon route. That's basically what happened over here, except all their guys routed off the table. And then so they have their backs to the enemy and they're going to have to rally. All right, so this group is not going to route quite as far because they're backing into rough terrain. So 4, and then 2.5 out of the remaining 5. 1, 2.5. Oh, and then they need to go a half more. All right, so let's mark that. And then they all need to go back an additional half move. So they might indeed, no, they're not going to quite route off. 4.5 will be to right there. So they're not quite routed off the board. And they'll be 4.5. And I'm measuring from the tray and not the dice, because that's just what I've been doing. All right, so 4.5, that'll be 2.25. So there. All right, and these guys are going to be fatigued now. That was their second move, I believe. And now they continue their charge. They moved 3. Their charge is... Their charge movement is, for heavy horse, 18. So they've got another 15. So 7 more gets them to the edge. So that gets them up to 10, 12, 14. They make contact again. Well, they just make contact because they failed their... So now they're going to do a melee. Okay, so you cannot charge through rough terrain, so their charge ends at the cottage. So that saved those guys because they were in deep trouble. So no melee. And these 3 units will have to rally. And this unit is right on top of these guys. But they're not in the formation they want to be in. And these guys are essentially out of the combat almost, based on where they are. But that's the end of turn 9. That's a turn of events. Okay, round 10. These 2 groups will automatically rally because they can only attack one group. And it's going to have to be that group in front of them, unless they want to wheel and face these guys. So, let's see. See, I didn't mark that they charged. That was movement. So they did move. So with that group, they're going to try to finish that group off, I think. But you know what? Let's go to the dice. On anything with a plus, whether it's plus or plus blank or plus plus, they're going to attack those guys. On anything else, they'll turn to face this fresh group coming at them. Well, not really fresh, but they're fatigued, but you see the point. And they will, in fact, they will wheel and try to attack them. Is a plus, so they're attacking them. Alright, so this group is going to attack them in the flank. This group is attempting to rally. That's all they can attempt to do. Their backs are still to the enemy, so that's trouble for them. These groups, those that can, are going to attempt to activate and fire. This group is going to continue to try to move. They've got to get into the open somehow. They've got to move to get into the open somehow. So first let's roll to move. These guys are facing this way, so they'll have some shot. Let's see here. If they activate to move, they're going to change formation to where they're just two in a line. This group will attempt, let's see, they're mostly blocked from this angle. So they're going to do the same thing. They're going to attempt to make two ranks, basically. And this group will try to move, and this group will try to move. These guys will rally automatically since they're not going to be attacked, and since they're resting. I'm going to rule that rally is not the same as movement. So, but these guys are fatigued, and since they're being attacked, if they have to move, they're probably going to disintegrate, actually. All right, can they move? Yes. Can they move and change formation? No. Can they move and change formation? Yes. Can they move? No. So can't move, can't move, can't move, can't move, can't move, can't move, can move, can change formation. So they're going to change formation to something like this, which I've made an utter mess of. Anyway, you get the idea. I'll clean it up. This group is going to attack. This group is going to attack. It's not a charge because they charged last turn. So they move to attack. These guys, they have enough movement to move in and attack them on the flank. They are not carrying pikes, so they can only attack the front rank. Alright, so this group, all they basically are going to be able to do is wheel to get pointed in that direction. So move, 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 and move. They will be fighting as heavy foot instead of armored foot. Alright, so by attacking the flank, they basically counters the effect of having morale. That drops them down a class. Attacking the flank brings them up a class, so they will be attacking as armored foot. They will be attacking them in the back as heavy horse, so they will get a +1 to their die rolls. The armored foot attacking heavy horse, 1 die per 3 men, so they're going to get 1 die, and they need a 6. And they don't get it. 12 men attacking heavy horse. This is normally heavy foot, but because they're fatigued, they are light foot. So 4 dice per man, 5 or 6 kills, and they're going to be +1. So 4s. 4 times 12 is 48. So we're going to roll these 4 times. 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits. So let's keep track of the hits. Wait, is that 12? That's not 12. These two make it 12. 5 hits. Alright, so I got another die to keep. So 4 hits so far, 5 hits so far. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. So that's going to be 12, 18. So that's 18 hits. I don't have enough dice to keep track of them. 18 hits. And that's 7 more hits. That annihilates that unit. That unit only had 24. So that they destroyed that unit, which saves checking morale and keeps them from retreating. So there is that. But now we have to do the after battle morale. So the side with the fewest casualties, that's 0. Roll a die and multiply that by the difference, which is 24. So that is going to be 24 times 6. Okay, that's well over 100. Armored foot, the value of armored foot is 7. The value of heavy horse is 9. Let's see here. They have more units. All right, so 6 times 24 is 144. And the difference between surviving units is they've got 4 less than 24, they've got 24. So that's 4. So you take 4 off of that. That gets it down to 140. And 9 times 20 is 180. 7 times 24 is less than 180. It's 168. So they lose. So it's well over 100 difference. So they surrender. So they're wiped out. They surrender. They just rallied. And we'll mark melee for these units. And we'll get these off in time for the next turn, dress those up for the next turn. And these surrendered, so they're going to have to leave 1 for every 5, so they have to leave 5 men behind to guard this group and escort them off the battlefield.